Hello and welcome to today's video. 1, 4, and 6 in predictions. We do not love that. We definitely don't love that. That is what it is. We move on. So first we'll start with LCP best of 5. GAM, DFM. GAM winning 3-0. DFM, even though they beat the Hawks, are currently the worst team in the world in Tier 1, statistically. Based on what the power rankings were before, and now I am able to start updating the power rankings as Oracle seems to have gotten most of the LPL stats updated. GAM, very strong in this one, led for 87% of the minutes played. Took 8 of 13 Drakes, 3 of 4 Barons. You see DFM literally had 6 gold for their Baron power play. GAM, 3,800. So when you only have 6 gold with a power play, you're probably going to lose. GAM led top to bottom of the Rift. There were no bright spots to DFM across the 3 games in the laning phase. Drakthar went 15, 4, and 28. Artemis had 27 damage share, 78 KP. This series was not something where there were a ton of solo kills. Kiaya was the only one with one. Very slow, methodical dominance out of GAM. 800 gold lead for Kiaya, 550 for Drakthar. Mid lane relatively close between Glory and Fisher. And then Artemis Taki 360 ahead. So you're looking at about an 1,800, 1,900 gold lead for GAM at 15 minutes. Woody went 112 and 19. Cocoon at 30 damage share. Fisher 81 KP. LCK Bro BFX Bro win 2-0 as they continue playing pretty solid, actually, all things considered. Top side of the Rift doing very well. Bot lane duo staying even with Taeyoon and Kellen. Roamer, Bro took 6 of 11 Drakes, 2 of 3 Barons. Both teams pretty mediocre with their Barons, 2,000 gold average for both sides. Bro were ahead for 71% of the minutes played, so they were in control for the majority. Roamer went 12, 5, and 17, 74 KP. Teddy had 2 solo or 2v2 kills with 29 damage share. Like I said, he went relatively even. It was casting up 650 gold in top lane. That was the most notable. For BFX, Vikla didn't do bad. He went 10, 4, 13, and 40% of BFX damage in the loss. He had a 267 gold lead on average. Raptor, 88 KP, and Kellen had 2 solo or 2v2 kills. Actually, they both were solo kills in the support role in the loss. GenG, KT. GenG smoked KT. 100-0. KT did not lead for any of this series. In terms of Drake value plus gold, GenG took 7 of 8 Drakes, both Barons, 6,200 gold to power play, and just absolutely crushed KT. KT played like shit. They didn't show up. Ruler, 6-0-13, 34 damage share, 83 KP. He and Duro up 1850 into Jiwoo and Effort. No, Fenrir and Effort. BDD 032, 28 damage share. They only had 2 kills. Cuz was involved in both, and he had one of the kills, so he got the 100% KP over BDD. You see here 430 for Keen, 140 for Canyon, 650 for Chovy. So, 2,500 here? About a 3,000 gold lead on average for GenG at 15 minutes. Canyon, Duro, Keen, all with solos as well. LPL, EDG, JDG. JDG win 2-0. They took 7 of 9 Drakes, 2 of 3 Barons, 4,400 gold to power play. For EDG, they had 1,600 gold with theirs. Really, ZDZ played pretty well again. Into Zhaozhu, he was up 365 on average. Rest of the Rift went to JDG. Junjin 9119, 870 gold lead into JJ. Hongq 32 damage share, 900 gold lead into Hongq. No, into Bulldog. Gala 78 KP. He and Vampire up 600 gold into Leave and Peruka. So ZDZ 7, 7, and 6, 81 KP. Leave 33 damage share in the loss. So 15, 28, 2,400. About a 2,000, 2,100 gold lead or so for JDG in the early game. Got this prediction wrong. Actually got this one wrong, this, and this. Yeah. So, ThunderTalk, I thought Team Wheat, coming off of their win against Anyone's Legend, would put on a better performance against ThunderTalk. They did not. As TT dominated from mid to bot. We see top lane here for Cube up 550, but that was not enough. And that is notable into Keshi. Keshi's no bum. Cube led in all three categories, actually, for Team Wheat. Speaking of that, though, Heru, so ThunderTalk, 8 of 13 Drakes. Barons went 2-2. 1,500 gold to power play for TT, 760 for Wii. Heru, 19-4 and 32 with 31 damage share, up 478 gold into Karas. We see Feather, 79 KP, he and on, up 200 gold into About an Era. Cube, 11-6-11, 30 damage share, 69 KP for Cube. And most notably, the early game lead went to Zhenhao, up 620 into Monkey. And Zhenhao doesn't quite get his flowers. Monkey gets a lot of credit for how well he's done, but Zhenhao has been underrated, and I think it's in part due to him being on Ultra Prime last year. He was a bright spot at times for that team, along with Jiang. Unfortunately, though, that team, well, Saber actually, there's a lot of bright spots. That team just sucked. They couldn't get it together, and all three of those players have potential. But Monkey gets a lot of the credit, probably because he played on EDG before Team Wii, but he's a good player. Zhenhao. Top Esports BLG, top win 2-0. BLG led in the early game for this one, but couldn't fucking finish. They couldn't finish. Barons were 2-2. You see a negative 260 gold power play for BLG. That's not going to do it. Especially when Top have 4,900 gold a power play. That's how you lose games. Top took actually less Drakes, 4-5. Tien was up 400 gold into Shun. Jackie Love 21, 4, and 27, 31 damage share. Joel 87 KP. Knight 7, 11, 19, 72 KP. Viper 31 damage share. 580 gold lead for 570 gold lead for Wenbo. 623 for Knight. 510 for Viper. Really, you think about it, about a 1,300, 1,400 gold lead for BLG at 15 minutes. But they couldn't turn those leads into anything. And when they got their opportunities with the power plays, they didn't get it done. So that is a thing. LEC Giant X shifters. Giant X dominating, up 90% of the minutes played. Technically, the game shifters won. If you take into account Drake value, they never were ahead. Because Giant X had the soul, I want to say, in that game. So that is a thing. Giant X took 12 of 15 Drakes. They took 2 Barons. Shifters took 1. Now, Shifters did have 5,000 gold with their power play. Giant X 3,600. It's just interesting when you take into account how much a Drake is worth and the stats it provides. Really, actually, Shifters never had a lead in the game they won. Jackie's had a solo, 14, 4, and 18. Flackhead had a 2v2 kill, 29 damage share. Oscar had a solo and 71 KP. Oscar up 745 gold into Rooster. That's a big deal. Rooster is probably the best player on Shifter. So, to be ahead of him is something to note here. 400 gold lead for Isma, 500 for Jackie's, 1,200 for Flackhead in June. So, 1,709. We're looking about 2,800 to 2,900 gold lead for Giant X on average in this 3-game series at 15 minutes. Nuke, 9, 7, and 16. Paddock had a solo kill, 31 damage share. Stend, 88 KP, 2v2 kill of his own. Rooster had a solo as well. Heretics, Fanatic. Fanatic should have won this series. They were ahead for 3/4 of the minutes played. But, similar to other teams I mentioned, they just couldn't get the job done. They couldn't secure Baron, essentially. They took the majority of the Drakes, 9 of 14. However, Heretics took the 3 Barons and 2,900 gold a power play will offset quite a bit and give yourself siege potential. And Heretics end up winning and winning the right team fights as well, of course. Truly winning the right team fights in the end game when things really do matter. Having a gold lead is nice and all, but if you can't actually turn it into an increased gold lead and snowball it, eventually the gold lead doesn't matter quite as much. Saren 839, Hype 30 damage share, Way 86 KP. We see on top lane here only Trace an average of a gold lead in the early game for Heretics. They were not doing well in terms of generating a lead. Saboro actually losing lane into Trayson. Trayson had a solo. Now Upset went 8-4-10. He and Laspa up 100 gold. Now that's nothing, but it is a lead. Saboro 29 damage share. Laspa 79 KP. Razork with a solo. So 500 gold lead for Razork. 240 for Vladi. Early game was relatively even, slightly in Fanatic's favor. Now they took the Drakes, so that gave them gold control. But it doesn't. If you're only up 1,000 gold for 30 fucking minutes, you'll lose. So Heretics win that 2-1. VKS Fluxo thought Fluxo could win this. They did not. Close series, nearly 50-50 for VKS. 7-5 in Drakes for them. Took 2 of 3 Barons. Very efficient with their Barons. 5,400 gold a power play for VKS. Yaskla 8-2-14, 37 damage share. Scamber 88 KP. Bao 7-5-9, 31 damage share. Momochi 86 KP. 1,600 gold for Fluxo with their power play. We see here not a crazy gold difference. Really, a 400 gold lead at 15 minutes, so the game is pretty much even at that point. But that is in the pocket of Yaskla and Scamber. Zekis, Zothby, and Decimus all had solos as well. Furia loud. Furia dominate, relatively speaking. Took 7 of 8 Drakes, 3 Barons. 1,200 gold a power play. Their power plays in game 1 were fucking awful. Both were negative. Toots 10-2-25. IU 33 damage here. Jojo 79 KP. For Loud, Kaze 8-11-7. Rebello 32 damage here. 74 KP. Top lane went to Shino. Indigigo did well, up 370 gold on average. Wrestler Rift went to Furia. 480 gold lead for Tatu. 200 for Toots. 1250 for IU and Jojo. So predictions 4 and 6. I'm going to try and get the power rankings out tomorrow. Won't be doing a Nexus report tomorrow because I have to work a double. So I got to go into work at like 10 at night tomorrow. So getting ready for that and shit. So there's no way the video's coming out tomorrow. If anything, there's be something in the morning that should square away the power rankings up to today, not including tomorrow's games. Might do an LCS video as well. I feel a little inspired by some shit I've seen on Twitter. So I might make a rambling video tomorrow. So thank you for watching. If you like this video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.